Excuse me. Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? KMB, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for Cplus Studios. And this is the New World Podcast, brother. Sorry I'm a couple days late with the review for Monday Night Raw. Let's just jump right on into it. December 12th, we start the show off with the number one contender match. Bayley versus Alexa. Bayley comes out with damage control. But during this, Becky comes out and like scares damage control away. So it's just Bayley on her own. Bianca comes out to watch. I didn't really understand that. I thought she was going to be on commentary or something. But they just gave her a chair and had her sit on the side of the ring just to watch the match. And I was like, I feel like it would make more sense if we had her like on commentary or anything like that, and they can ask her questions like who she wants to face or whatnot, unless that was done on purpose, you know, not to have her on commentary. But Alexa Bliss won, and the tease, you know, it's like, I don't know. Bianca comes in and they're celebrating and whatnot, her win, and then she goes in for her sister Abigail, then like stops and it's just like, oh, what is going on? And then they have a little tease in the back, and I know they've been doing this for a while, but I just don't want to see Alexa Bliss going back, you know, to, maybe it's going to be in better hands this time around, because, you know, I just don't think, I think they should progress Alexa Bliss into more of a badass, you know, Alexa Bliss. She's Alexa Bliss, goddammit. I don't know. I just did not care for her run with Bray. And then when Bray left, she kept that gimmick going for a while. We had Lily. Yeah, sure, it was entertaining, but I don't know. Just something about it just kind of threw me off. You know, she has a little bit of crazy in her and this and that. And I'm feeling that's just a lot with the women, especially with like Liv Morgan and stuff like that. They're crazy. They got a little bit of an edge and stuff like that. But Alexa going back to that gimmick with Bray, or whatever gimmick they have in store, you know, because we're still getting the tease and whatnot. Bray hasn't even been in the ring to wrestle. You know, he's building this feud with LA Knight, and I don't know where we're going. Like, and what's funny is I read this report that Triple H is a little underwhelmed with his hires that he's brought back onto the roster. And I feel like that's like Braun Strowman, because Braun is like kind of just there now in mid-card level, you know, nothing really done with him. Karrion Kross had his feuds, and now he's building a feud against Rey Mysterio and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if he's just like, well, you know, and Bray too, like Bray coming back was huge for pro wrestling in general. Like, Bray is a super talented dude, but I'm a little over these vignettes and these promos, and I'm like, I'm ready to see him in the ring. I'm ready to see this whole thing pay off and stuff like that. So we shall see, though. Chad Gable versus AJ Styles. AJ Styles wins. Great match. Chad, like I said, he's the mat master, the match magician. I can't even talk. I'm not feeling too well, so if I sound like that, it's just because I sound like that. And AJ Styles is AJ Styles, baby. The OC. The Judgment Day versus Street Profits and Akira Tozawa. I really hope we get to Akira Tozawa back to being more of a serious competitor inside the ring. He is he is talented, man. I you know, these little backstage, like making him goofy, what they've been doing with him, the ninja suit. Time to just shed that away and let Akira Tozawa just do his thing, you know. We had Candice LeRae versus Io Sky, and Io Sky won. Another loss for Candice LeRae. I'm just like, she's just somebody. What do they call her? The Poison Pixie or some shit like that. Like, I like Io Sky more than I do Candice LeRae, and once again, it's kind of those things that got in limbo. You know, I feel like she has Elias versus Solo. And on a side note here that I just got, Riddle is in rehab because he failed the drug test. They've written ran him off TV last week with Solo destroying him and, having him on a gurney and whatnot. He's going to be out for 6 months. And when I heard about him being for going to rehab for failing a drug test, I'm like, really? The original bro failing a drug test? Like, is it not just weed? Is it something else that he got busted for? Like, I don't know. Are they still so uptight about marijuana and stuff like that? Because he's the bro, the original bro. Like, that's his whole thing, man. I don't understand. So we shall see. And they kind of gave him that option like they did with Jeff Hardy. Like, hey, sober up, go to rehab, or you lose your job. And I just hope Riddle doesn't fall into that same thing. And I feel like it's just weed. It could just be weed, or, other edibles and stuff like that. Because it's Matt Riddle. Like, the original bro, we made weed jokes, and he's gone off the rehab. Or unless it's something worse and he has to get himself cleaned up. We really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But that just kind of threw me off for a loop. Really nothing with Elias either. Really, he lost to Solo, and then before anybody could attack, the Bloodline could attack anything like that, they had Elias. But Elias was saved by Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens is a man on the verge of destroying the Bloodline. I feel like he's still in line to dethrone Roman and stuff like that. But then he stunners Elias and everything like that, and I really do like that. He is the anti-hero of anti-heroes. He's the Stone Cold Steve Austin of this era, and doing his own thing too on top of that. So much love to Kevin Owens, and I'm glad he stunned Elias. Now this match, Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley won this match, but we're seeing, like, she didn't have the makeup on, a very generic mask, and she's been teasing on social media for a while. Asuka's gonna get a new look, and I feel like we're slowly tearing away what's going on with Asuka right now, and then she's gonna get a whole brand new look, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they do with Asuka in that sense, just because she is why do I keep saying multi-talented? That's my go-to word, y'all. I don't know why. It's just like multi-talented. They all are multi-talented. They're truly multi-talented, So, and there's some other great stuff that went on Raw. Let me see. I'm trying to get to it in my notes. We had Bobby Lashley and Seth freaking Rollins, number one contender, in the main event. And we have Dolph Ziggler, who gave a promo directed at Theory before the match. And it's kind of weird that the show-off mocking somebody is just weird. Like, it's like, you are the cockiest son of a bitch on the fucking roster, and you're criticizing Theory. So I'm like, what are we doing there? What is this whole, this feud between Dolph Ziggler and Austin Theory? Like, I don't know where it's going. I don't understand where it's going. So he's like, Seth Rollins won this match. Now he's the number one contender to go against Austin Theory for the United States Championship. Lashley lost his shit and he was fired by Adam Pearce because he shoved Adam Pearce and he's like, "You're fired." So after this Monday Night Raw, I saw a lot of great memes. Bobby Lashley is all elite. So I'm wondering if we're writing off Bobby for a little bit, let Bobby have a break. He's been grinding for the past couple years. Like, write Bobby off TV. He got fired. Hold him off until the Royal Rumble. We got the Royal Rumble that's right around the corner, but we got to see where that storyline's going, because they've been planting the seeds a little bit, like, especially when Seth and Bobby last week got all up in each other's faces, and Adam Pearce was like, yo, next time you touch an official or anything like that, there's going to be consequences. And Bobby's like, is that a threat? And he's like, no, I'm just telling you, you need to understand, blah, blah, blah. And so we've been building towards this moment of Bobby Lashley being, quote, unquote, fired, because he's a multi-talent. Not going there. So I would say with this Raw, I did enjoy it. I did have fun. I give it a solid 4. No, I give it a solid 3 out of 10. And I hope that Triple H can find the power to knock Raw down to 2 hours, because SmackDown's is a much superior show to Raw. I enjoy Raw. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy Monday Night Raw, but 2 hours, you could fit in what you need to fit in, and with 3 hours, you just got that block. You know, there's some things where you're just like, okay, I'm going to tune in, then I'll tune out, tune in, tune out. I hope we can get to the point of getting Monday Night Raw back to 2 hours, but I don't see that happening anytime in the future because, the deal with the USA Network and stuff like that. So, and before I get going here, Mandy Rose was dethroned. I saw that. I was like, oh my. And we got new tag team champions. And yes, I did watch Deadline with on this past Saturday and everything like that. I didn't get a chance to watch Ring of Honor Final Battle. I've been just, like I said, I've been dealing with this foot thing. I've been dealing, now I woke up sick and everything like that. But I heard not Candice LeRae, Jesus Christ, KMB the Sexy Ninja. Get your shit together. God. But yeah, the New Day is the NXT Tag Team Champions. I don't understand, I'm like, cool for them, it was just a weird thing, because I heard about it before I even watched that match, but Roxanne Perez, they've been building her up, man. They've been building her up, and I watched the whole Iron Survivor match, so I'm going to get into that a little bit. I like the concept. I like the concept of it being multiple wrestlers in the ring. I like the idea if you get pinned, you get into the penalty box that you're in there for a minute 30. I really like the idea, but the women's Iron Survivor match was fantastic. I had a really damn good time with that match. The men's, I didn't care for that much just because of the finish. I didn't care that, when he was running around and everything like that, I just didn't care for that. I was just like, I guess, that's just my thing. I feel like it's a great concept for a match, the Iron Survivor match. I like the concept a lot. It's just one of those things. The men's match was a little wonky, but the women's match was on spot on, and it definitely kept my attention because you're looking at that clock. For man, I can't even talk. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so spacey right now. It's ridiculous just because I just don't feel well. And it's the last week of my work and everything like that. And, it's just one of those things where I'm just like, ugh, come on, KMB. I will get better, but can't wait for AEW Dynamite tonight. So tell me what you thought of Monday Night Raw. What was your thing? How did you feel? Did you watch Deadline? What did you think of Deadline? What was your thoughts? Also, what was your thoughts on Monday Night Raw? So, and Braun, that was another one. Braun Breaker versus Apollo Crews. I just did not see Braun Breaker losing that title to Crews whatsoever. It was just one of those things I was just like, yeah, I don't think so. I don't know. Braun Breaker is somebody that I feel like someone's going to dethrone him. And it's going to be... I don't know who it's going to be. I'm looking at that roster. I just don't know who's going to dethrone Braun because... remember they were trying to bring him up real quick and then they put him back down and stuff like that? But Waller won the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge, and I didn't like the fact that he was... that's what the finish was that I didn't like, is him running around in the ring and stuff like that. We're running away. Then I was like, why don't somebody just start pinning somebody? Because that's the whole point. You get points, whoever pins the most and has the most and everything like that. So I would give the women's a hard solid A. I would give the men's a B- and stuff like that. That's just me though. But yeah, tell me what you thought. I'm just rambling now. I'm gonna stop here. Much love, much respect to everybody. Thank you for chilling with us. Like and subscribe. Share it with your grandma. Share it with your grandpa. Share it with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB, the Sexy Ninja. And this is the New World Podcast, brother. And it's...
I told you my hands were going to be tied.